Vậy còn có hai nhà khác chợ một nhà luôn nữa đây.
Vậy còn mấy người nữa.
Đó là nhà cái nạn rồi. Cho bán gì đâu vậy? Không biết họ có đâu.
Technical không luôn á. Giống như ngồi đây được. Ngồi đây, ngồi đây, ngồi đây, bên này không biết rõ.
Sao rồi đó. Sao rồi thì là sao rồi. Đúng rồi, con ra đi. Con ra đi. Rồi, đúng rồi. Yeah. Rồi, cái tổ của mình ở gắn cho online con đi xin của mình ở là xong. Rồi, thì cái nào thì cắm giờ để xem là
Vậy thì em vẫn để cho anh Hãng nói tiếng Anh trước, còn trong lúc nào mà mình thấy cần giải thích thêm thì em sẽ intro vô để cùng anh em chia sẻ thêm mà. Share vào đây. Dạ. Hôm qua em có gửi cái đường link wifi đó access hoặc là mình có hai wifi là cái là MSCA wifi với lại HK cà phê wifi.
Có một con khác nữa là thì cho em hỏi các anh có bao giờ mà mình đã làm việc mà trong nhà máy mình có trải nghiệm qua mấy cái dòng sản phẩm xuất mà layer 2 chưa làm, hoặc là cái xuất doanh nghiệp? Chắc là trước khi bắt đầu á, em nghĩ là chắc là khoảng 9:15 thì mình bắt đầu được, thì các anh thấy ổn ha. Mình cũng chỉ thiếu một người thôi, nhưng mà thôi mình cứ đúng giờ mình làm. Thì nói chung là bây giờ cũng chưa tới một giới thiệu đâu, mà em muốn là không khí mình thoải mái trước. Là hiện tại thì các anh em trong mình là hầu như là đều là leader hoặc là kỹ thuật hoặc là đã có thông tin trong nghề rồi. Nhưng mà cái buổi ngày hôm nay chủ yếu là em sẽ tập trung chính về những cái kiến thức liên quan đến lĩnh vực mạng, mà mạng liên quan tới switch layer 2 hoặc là switch harmonic, một số thông tin liên quan. Và cái cuối cùng là mình sẽ biết được cái thao tác của những cái dòng sản phẩm switch layer 2 này như thế nào và hand on trực tiếp. Và mình sẽ có tổng cộng là 8 đến 9 bài thực hành on hand
nó sẽ có những cái mô hình để cho mình kết nối trong ngày hôm nay, từ cái mô hình cơ bản nhất trên thị trường dự phòng mạng có 5 giây đến cái mô hình của hãng dự phòng mạng có thể là 1 cho tới 20 giây hoặc là 50 giây trở lại thôi, khi mà mình rút dây mạng ra và mình sẽ thao tác trực tiếp nạp firmware, up firmware cũng như là triple setting, tất cả mọi cái thông tin liên quan đến cái này. Tất nhiên là em nghĩ rằng là một bàn mình sẽ có 5 đến 6 anh em thì mình có thể là xoay vòng mình làm sao nhanh nhất. Theo mọi người là mình có nên làm một cái contest với 2 bàn không? Ai hand on, ai thực hành nhanh hơn, bàn nào nhanh hơn, mình đãi cà phê ví dụ vậy. Thường á em chia sẻ là đối với đào tạo này á thì chắc là em okay, can I share the slide about yes this one. Rồi thôi bây giờ em nói sơ qua ha. Thì như các anh biết là đối với Mosa thì em làm việc cũng hơn 5 năm nay, là họ đi theo một cái quy luật nhất định, kể cả cái người làm trong Mosa mà làm ngoài Mosa, với bản thân nhà phân phối như bên em là bên Sông Thành Công cũng như là đại lý đại diện của Mosa, riêng em là sẽ chịu trách nhiệm về phát triển hãng cũng như kỹ thuật solution luôn. Thì về phía hãng thì họ sẽ có một cái yêu cầu riêng đối với training về kỹ thuật của hãng cũng như là của nhà phân phối cũng như là các đối tác liên quan tới SI. Thì cái việc mà nắm rõ các kỹ thuật đó, thì mình rất quan trọng. Và đối với hãng thì em xin phép được chia sẻ một số thông tin, và hiện tại ngày hôm nay cái khóa học này nó nằm trong một cái gói nào thì em được biết rằng là qua ngày mai thì sẽ có một số anh em mình sẽ đăng ký thi, thì cái đó là cái em sẽ thông tin vào ngày mai vào 1 tiếng chiều mai, cho nên là ngày hôm nay em cố gắng mà mình vướng mắc những thông tin nào thì có thể hỏi anh chuyên gia. Nhưng mà trước khi vào nữa thì em xin giới thiệu đầu tiên đó là anh Payson, là chuyên gia từ Mosa và đặc biệt là Mosa Asia và Mosa Taiwan. Yeah, hi Payson, do you want to introduce by yourself a bit? Okay, take it here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Xin chào. I come from Taiwan and I'm here from Mosa. And I would like to thank Dewey for having me here. Yeah, and it's my pleasure to be here. This wonderful place, Picnic, okay, and share some network knowledge and industrial experience for you guys. Okay. So let's go on the agenda.
Yes, the first one I will introduce where are we. Xin chào các anh. Rồi thì ngày hôm nay hiện tại Mosa mình sẽ có các gói học chia theo các ứng dụng như sau. Wow. Sẽ không dùng này mới xài luôn. Ok. Rồi cho nên chủ đề. Ok. Rồi thì bây giờ em xin phép. Xin lỗi mọi người. Đầu tiên là mình sẽ nói về ngày hôm nay thì mình đang nằm trong một cái khóa học cơ bản MSCI của gói học Industrial Network của Mosa. Thì với Mosa họ sẽ chia thành là Industrial Wireless không dây, Industrial Cellular 3G, 4G và 5G, Industrial Serial một cái package gói học riêng, RF 232 hoặc là Gateway 485 sang Modbus TCP hoặc là Gateway khác, Industrial IO là chuyển IO sang Modbus, bảo mật mạng công nghiệp mà là một gói riêng, thiết kế cái hạ tầng mạng là một gói riêng, thiết kế về mạng không dây. Bên này nó thuộc về cái gói nâng cao. Thì mình sẽ có những cái gói như sau. Đầu tiên MXCA là mình học về các hạ tầng mạng cơ bản. MXCB là mình sẽ nâng cao hơn một khóa, hiện tại em chỉ tới cái khúc này thôi. Còn ví dụ như MXCE là expert là chuyên gia rồi, thì hiện tại cái gói đó hãng đang giới hạn, hãng sẽ tập trung hai cái này. Ví dụ như nhà phân phối đối tác thì sẽ tập trung cho nên toàn bộ đối tác cái này. Rồi nếu mà mọi người còn muốn học cao hơn thì mình sẽ lên MXCB. Thì với cái này đó, còn với em ví dụ như sau này em đào tạo và hiện tại đi muốn đào tạo thì sau khi em pass hai cái này em phải pass thêm một cái chứng chỉ nữa là TTT là Train to Trainer. Thì thật ra là em đã pass rồi, nhưng mà tuy nhiên rằng là em muốn cái không khí thay đổi cho chuyên gia đến, mình mời chuyên gia đến cho nó không khí nó cởi mở hơn, và mình thấy được rằng là cái tầm quan trọng của việc tập trung về đào tạo đối với hãng Mosa là như thế nào. Bên cạnh mình biết là thiết bị nó giá trị rồi, cái giải pháp nó chuẩn chỉ top global rồi, nhưng mà những cái khía cạnh nào để sẽ khiến cho anh em làm kỹ thuật mình sẽ sử dụng cái giải pháp Mosa, thì đây là một trong những cái yêu cầu bắt buộc hàng năm. Ví dụ hàng năm em sẽ bay qua Đài Loan ít nhất 2 lần để em training update cái này em training mặt trận hàng năm em phải thi giống như các anh. còn cái này em sẽ update. Và một cái update nữa là gọi là MTSC, là update công nghệ hàng năm. Cho nên đối với những cái hãng em nghĩ là lớn thì họ sẽ update hàng năm liên tục công nghệ. Thì đó thì cũng là một cái gọi là thử thách. Nhưng mà em nghĩ rằng là khi mà mình có certificate hoặc là khi mình học chuẩn chỉ bài bản hoặc là hands-on thực tế thì mình sẽ có cái nhìn trực quan hơn về thiết bị, cũng như mà có cái nhìn uy tín hơn khi mà mình diễn đạt đến với khách hàng. Đó thì đây là một trong những cái mô tả. Thì em xin chia sẻ sâu hơn về cái này ha. Thì hiện tại là thì ngày hôm nay mình sẽ bắt đầu từ cái khóa học này. Thì đây là một cái thông tin là hãng sẽ là thông tin trên mạng luôn, mọi người có thể truy cập đường link này để theo dõi thông tin chi tiết. Và như em đã đề cập trong agenda thì mình sẽ đi xuyên suốt các chủ đề này từ cơ bản cho tới cấu hình, và nó sẽ trải dài ra 2 ngày. Còn về cái phần thi thì mình sẽ có đóng phí, tuy nhiên rằng là cái số lượng sẽ giới hạn. Còn cũng liên quan tới MXCP, ví dụ như em đề cập đến mảng industrial luôn thì mọi người sẽ thấy rằng là đó, hôm nay mình học môn hình khói tay đúng không, những cái tính năng cơ bản của switch thì mình qua cái lớp nâng cao mình sẽ học thêm chi tiết về những cái cấu hình ở bên này, thì mọi người có thể thấy một vài chi tiết hơn đó. Rồi thì xuyên suốt các khóa học thì mình sẽ có từng ngày khóa học. Mọi người thấy là tổ chức một cái này thì thường là phải bay qua Đài Loan, nhưng mà năm nay thì em cũng định hướng với hãng là mình sẽ tổ chức tại Việt Nam, và mình mời những anh em chuyên về kỹ thuật cũng như là những leader kỹ thuật thì mình sẽ tham gia để nắm hơn về có cái nhìn toàn diện ha. Rồi thì trong này thì các khóa học này thì đã được hãng đưa ra thị trường vào năm 2022, nhưng mà số lượng giới hạn. Đến năm 2024 là năm ngoái thì bắt đầu triển khai hàng loạt trong các khu vực từ Việt Nam cho đến khu vực châu Á, và em sẽ đi sâu hơn. Đây là chuyên gia. Đây mọi người sẽ thấy này, MXCA, MXCB và MXCD. Nhưng mà Việt Nam mình chỉ cần tập trung MXCA trước, và nếu mà mình có điều kiện mình lên cái này là quá ok rồi. Rồi ok để rồi để tham gia cái này thì hầu như là phải tham gia ở bên hãng ở Đài Loan hoặc là các nước gần ở đây nhất. Thì đối với mọi người có thể nắm thêm về cái lịch training chi tiết, là mọi người có thể thấy này, đây là cái lịch training đã diễn ra, ví dụ như cái thời điểm này, nhưng mà không ở Việt Nam. Ví dụ như ở các quốc gia ở Úc này, ở khu vực châu Á của mình này, ở Đài Loan này, ở Hàn Quốc và Nhật Bản này, hoặc là ở châu Âu đó. Thì ở Việt Nam mình tổ chức chưa nhiều, tại vì thứ nhất là nó sẽ liên quan tới bài toán chi phí. Thì mọi người thấy là em cố gắng sắp xếp làm sao cho nó chuyên nghiệp nhất. Cái này nó một concept, theo em đánh giá là mình concept này thì sẽ hơn Thái Lan họ tổ chức cách đây khoảng tuần trước, nhưng mà em thấy họ sắp xếp không bằng của em, và em sẽ đi theo một cái tiêu chuẩn là theo hãng luôn, và em sẽ mong muốn là mỗi bài chỉ có 10 thôi. Cho nên khi em gửi lời mời là em muốn giới hạn lại em đăng ký để đảm bảo được là mình hỏi chuyên gia được nhiều nhất, hoặc là mình chia sẻ kiến thức với nhau thì tốt nhất. Thì đó là cái chia sẻ của em, thì không làm mất thời gian nữa. Thì mọi người có thể là truy cập vào cái link này giúp em, hoặc là có thể là trực tiếp cho mọi người. Thì để cái buổi này thì chắc là em sẽ để anh Vincent này chia sẻ bằng tiếng Anh trước, vẫn như em trao đổi, mọi người có thắc mắc thì mình sẽ đặt câu hỏi tiếng Việt hoặc tiếng Anh trực tiếp luôn. Và trong đây sẽ có ở đây là có Ngài là khi nghe tiếng Anh rồi, Ngài bây giờ tay Ngài sẽ phối hợp thêm. Nào thấy có ý kiến gì không? Rồi Huy, bạn Huy có ý kiến gì không? Dạ rồi, ok. Vậy thì em xin phép là được bắt đầu cái khóa học ngày hôm nay ha. Và chủ đề đầu tiên thì bắt đầu mời. Ok, chào sir.
Okay, thank you, Louis.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. So today's course will be the MXCA. MXCA stands for MOSA Certificated Associate. Okay. And today we will focus on industrial network. And I will speak in English, okay, because I don't know about big name language, but we prepare real-time translate into big name, okay, here, but maybe it's 70% correct. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, or you can ask Dui will help to assist you.
Không biết các anh có biết cái tính năng này khi mà mình thuyết trình chưa? Nó nghĩa là đang dịch trực tiếp nhưng mà nó sẽ không chính xác. Nó hỗ trợ giúp cho những người nghe của mình.
Next, Here are we for the course content. We have a lot of topic, and for the day one, we will present these three. First will be the network basic. Basic include OSI model and give you a network basic concept and the device standards and protocols. And next, we will have the management switch. Okay. And on your table is the manage switch. Okay. And we will have some hands-on this part. Okay. And the next day will be the network redundancy. Okay. Network redundancy is really important in industry because industrial application needs reliable. So we need the network redundancy. And we will introduce some common one network redundancy. Okay. And the next, we will introduce network management. And network management can help you to have a maintain for the troubleshoot and see the whole network topology on your site. Okay. Make you easy to manage all your devices. Okay. And sixth, will be the maintenance and troubleshooting because we know of the design and then we have to maintain it and if there's a problem, how can we do the troubleshooting? It's in the next part. So for the beginning, we will talk. I will focus on network basic, and the three will help us to introduce their three parts. And next, it will be a manage switch. Three will introduce this part, and essential manage switch functions, also read and meet. I will focus on the VLAN part. Okay, so let's start our course. Are you ready? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. So first part is the network basic, and at the beginning we will learn about the OSI model. What is OSI model? Everyone learned it before? No? Okay. So before learn the OSI model. Such as computers, servers, routers that can communicate with each other, and share the resource like data, files, or internet connections. That's the network. Okay, so to connect this device or nodes together, it means both sides have to use the same method, right? For example, I would like to communicate with you, so maybe I should know big name, right? And we can communicate. Or we both know English, so we can communicate with English. So if you want to communicate, you should use the same method. So the OSI model give us some guides, reference model for communication between computers. That's why we need OSI model. Okay, what is OSI? OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection. OSI. Okay. And there are 7 layers in the OSI. And this slide will show you a briefing, just a briefing. We will talk in detail in each layer, okay? And for number 1 is the physical layer. What is physical layer? For example, Ethernet. Ethernet cable on your table, okay, is the physical one. Okay? And how about the fiber? Fiber, okay, use the light source, right? And how about the microwave or wave? You use the Wi-Fi, right? This belongs to the physical. So physical covers cabling and signaling. Okay? And the upper, the data link layer. Because if you want to communicate, maybe you can use one cable one-to-one, okay, and then you can communicate. But maybe we have several devices, okay, and I would like to communicate with you. But if I have to connect one by one, there are a lot of cable, right? So we should have a shared media. Maybe a negotiator here, and I talk to him, and he can communicate with all of you. Okay. We need a shared media to help the device communication. Okay. And the third one is the network. Network can help us, for example, in this classroom, we are a LAN, local area network. Okay, it's a LAN. But if we want to communicate with other classroom, maybe classroom 2, but we don't know how to reach it LAN, so we need the network layer to help us to connect between the networks. Okay, and then will be the fourth one is the transport. And transport helps us have a flow control and a delivery chain or communicate with processes. And we will talk it later in detail. And the fifth one is the section. Section is focused on inter-host dialog management and the logout or logout. Okay. And the sixth one is presentation. Presentation focus on data representation method, format conversion, or encryption. Okay, encryption will be sixth presentation. And the next one will be the application. Application is connectivity interface for application. For example, email. Email is the application there. And how about Yellow, right? Yellow is your famous media, right? Okay. And it's application, just like a software program. Okay. So that's all the 7 layers. And there are 2 key messages for you. Why we need OSI model? 2 key messages. Number 1, this message is really important because we should know why we need this. Okay. Number 1 is for design reference. If you are focused on yellow, okay, you are the yellow programmer, okay, so you have the reference and relays on the application layer, okay, and just a model for the designer, okay, a reference for the designer. This is number 1. Okay. And number 2 is if I'm a cable manufacturer or designer, I only can focus on my job, focus on my professional skill. Maybe I'm good at electric, okay? So you can focus on the physical layer and don't care about the servers or other layers. For other example, maybe you are a yellow programmer, right? Yellow net software programmer, right? So you can focus on the server layer. You don't need to care about, okay, I text you via cable or Wi-Fi. So you can only focus on your layer. this is two messages. Each layers are independent. Okay? And here are some different models. We have OSI model and simplified model and the TCP/IP model. Usually, network professionals don't use this model, okay? But this one is the origin. Okay? They might use the TCP/IP model. Okay, TCP/IP model combines these 3, 5, 6, 7 into application. Okay, there. Okay, and the TCP/IP model combines number 1 and number 2 layer into network access. Today we will focus on the simplified model. Okay, simplified model because we will focus on layer 2, so we won't separate it. We will separate it into 2. Okay. And this side show you the data flow between the 7 layers. We call it encapsulation and encapsulation. Okay. And if you want to, if I email to you, hello, I'm here in Thailand. Okay, how are you? And I send it, this message. Okay, how are you? Is the data. It's the data. It's the data. It's the data. And then you will go because I use yellow, right? Which layer yellow belong to? Which layer? 7, yes. So it's come from 7 layer. Okay. How are you? Through the yellow. And how are you? Well, encapsulation into the data. Okay. You will add a layer 7 header in front of the data. Okay. And then go to the next layer. So next layer will add layer 6 header. Okay. And the next, and so on. Layer 5, layers 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is 1? This layer 2 header and the data will convert to maybe electric signal. Maybe it's the voltage. The voltage. The voltage, you will show 0, 1, maybe 0, 1. Okay, something like that. Okay. Go to the physical signal or the light. It's a pulse. Pulse signal. Pulse signal. Okay. And connect to the receiver part, and go back to the layer 2. Okay, go back to the layer 2. It's called encapsulation, and up. And the receivers will get the how are you. That's the flow. That's the data flow. Okay. And we should know what is PDU. What is PDU? It's called Protocol Data Unit. Protocol Data Unit. So the layer 7 PDU, we call it data. We call it data. And layer 6 data also. Layer 5 data also. Okay. But the layer 4, we will call it signal. Okay. If you use TCP it will be the signal. If you use UDP, we will call it data frame. We will talk it later. Okay. And for the layer 3, we will call it packet. Okay. And the layer 2, it should be the frame. So different layer has different name of PDU. And how about the layer 1? Layer 1 is bit. Why is bit? Because 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 is a bit format, right? Okay. Okay, this page show you some common protocols. Okay, it's the examples for your reference. Okay. We can start from 7 layer. 7 layer we have SMTP. Who knows SMTP? Give it a try. SMTP.
Email?
Yes, it's the email. It's the email protocol. So you email from Google, okay? It's using the SMTP protocol. How about FTP? Anyone use FTP before? Yeah, file transfer protocol will help you to transfer the file and send the file to you, okay, via FTP. And how about HTTP? You are familiar with this, right? It's a browser for a web, right? So you use FTP. FTP belongs to application. And how about SMTP? Yeah, SMTP we will talk it next day. And this protocol used to manage your network. Okay. So tomorrow we will use SMTP. Okay, to manage your network and do the hands-on. Okay. And the next two is OPC UA and Modbus TCP. It's the industrial protocol, right? Who use OPC UA before? And how about Modbus? Modbus is the common one, right? Okay. So OPC UA and the Modbus TCP is a famous, is the popular two in industrial protocol. And these two can help you to read the data or write the data. Okay. I would like to trigger the light, and I use the Modbus to trigger a relay. And for the layer 4, there are two main protocols, TCP and the UDP. Okay. We will talk it later. Okay. And the third one is IPv4, right? Internet Protocol version 4. Okay. And IPv6, okay, is the advanced one. Okay. And the ARP and the ICMP. And do you know what is ICMP? Do you use the ping command before? Ping command, P-I-N-G, right? Actually, ping command is based on ICMP. It's based on ICMP. So ping command belongs to third layer. Okay, and number 1 and number 2 will be the Ethernet. Okay, Ethernet and wireless LAN. Okay, it's maybe Wi-Fi is a kind of wireless LAN. Okay, that's all some common protocols for your reference. And then we will go deep into layer 1, physical. Okay, any questions here? Okay, if no, we'll go to the layer 1 physical layer. Okay, so as I mentioned before, physical layer provides node-to-node communication. So the PC1 want to communicate with PC2, use a medium to transmit the data, transmit the message. So maybe you will use voltage or you're using a fiber. It's the transmission medium, copper copper or fiber. And also describes signaling scan. Okay, signaling scans. Just like if you digital signal with the voltage or optical pulse, or you encoding a special way to help each other to know what you say. Is the encoding. But their one physical also has some problem. What problem? If we need to connect one by one, okay, there will be maybe your network is small, right? It's okay. You can connect directly. But if you have a lot of devices and all the devices would like to communicate with each other, you will have a lot of lines and cables, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 12, okay? 12 cables. So it's quite complicated, right? Complicated. And you have to buy a lot of cables. And the cabling loss, okay? Cabling cost, okay? And if there are some problem in your network, you are hard to troubleshoot because there are a lot of cables. You don't know which part is having problem. Also, if you want to connect like this, your PC has to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ethernet port. Do you have 5 Ethernet port? No, only one. Right? So that's why we how to share the transmission medium. So that's why we need data link. Data link layer can solve the layer 1 problem. So layer 2 data link provides shared media concept. So it enables sharing of transmission media. So the all PC connect to the shared media, one shared media, and then it can communicate with the second one, and the second one can communicate with the third one, and also number 1. Okay. But if we share the media, how can I know to communicate with which one? So we have to use MAC address. MAC address, just like your name. Okay. I'm Pearson. Okay. And how about you? May I have your good name? Huh? Santai. Okay. If I like to talk to Tantai, right? And I will. Tantai is the MAC address, and the Pearson also is the MAC address. It's just like the device name. Okay, device name. So, and this MAC address is a unique device identifier. It's a unique device identifier. Okay? And the layer 2 also handles collections. Okay, collections because they use the same shared media, so it might have some collections. And to avoid the collections, they will use the mechanism called CSMACE. And it's half duplex mode. And we will talk it later. Okay? And the final, let me review again the layer 2 BDU code frame. So that's the data link. But again, data link layer also has some problem. So that's why we need layer 3. Okay? And the layer DataLink help us about the shared media, right? So we build a local area network here. Okay, just like a classroom, right? Okay, we connect with each other with the shared media, but we have to communicate. Maybe first floor also has a classroom. Okay, we would like to communicate with them. So we don't know how to do this. We don't know how to communicate between different lanes. So that's why we need layer 3 network. So network help us to interconnect multiple lanes. And the multiple lanes, it will just like give you a map. Okay. You can follow the map and find the person on the first floor. And this map also has the network address and the node address. We will talk about later. And this method communication across multiple lanes, we call it routing. Routing. You might heard about router, right? Router. And the router uses routing to help you to interconnect multiple lanes. And the address, the layer 3 address is IP. It's just like your home location. I can search it on Google Map and you enter your location, your home location, and I can find you. So layer 2 use what address? Layer 2. Remember? Which one? MAC address. Right. Yes. Layer 2 use MAC address. It's just like your name. Layer 3 use IP address, just like your home location. Your home location. And final one, layer 3 PDU called packet. And how about the layer 2? Yes, Fred. It's Fred. Okay? Fred. Layer 3 is the packet.
Các anh nhớ cái keyword này nha. Tại vì nó phải xuất hiện trong, không em chia sẻ thôi, nó phải xuất hiện trong bài test. Yeah.
And but network layer also have the problem. So that's why we need layer 4. So if maybe you are a powerful server, you can do a lot of service. Okay. You can jump in, and you can play basketball, and you can play soccer. Okay. Maybe you can do the math. Okay. You are a powerful server. So I would like to ask you, hey, please play the basketball with, or play the soccer with me. So how should you know I should play soccer or I should play basketball? Okay. So mapping to these slides. Server will have the web, and it can send email, it can send the files. But how should we tell the server to do this service? Because the server only has one IP, right? So we have to use the service port to tell him, okay, please open the web. That's why we need, therefore, how to identify which service data belongs to. Okay, therefore, transport. And transport layer supports us service identification. You can tell the server, okay, please open the web, please send the email, please transfer the files. There will be different service port. For the web, it's the 18. Okay, 18. And then for the email 25, file transfer is 69. Okay. if the server IP is if this is the service IP, okay, I found the service, but I would like to open its web. So we will put the service port here. Service port. A and then server will know, okay, you want me to open the web for you. This is the service port. Therefore, okay. So also the data segmentation, and then it will be the delivery control and the error checking. There are two famous protocols. Therefore, one is TCP, another one is UDP. TCP is guaranteed delivery. You will check. You will have a three-hand check mechanism to check. Okay, hi, and then you receive a hi, and then you reply me. Okay, I heard that you say hi. Okay, it's a guaranteed delivery. Another one is UDP. UDP is best ever. I don't care about you receive or not. Keep saying, no checking, keep saying. So, therefore, the address use the port, right? The port. And we call it SATI port. SATI port. SATI port means IP plus TC, protocol and the port. Just like this. And it's TCP. Okay? It's TCP. IP, protocol, and port. IP, protocol, and port. And then, therefore, PDU code segment, right? Segment for TCP. But if it's UDP, it will be the data break. Okay, review again. How about layer 3 PDU? We call it packet, right? Packet. Perfect. Okay. And therefore, it's segment and the data break. There will be the next. And this slide show you some common port for your reference. And therefore is port-based transmission, right? Port-based. Port-based. The base is IP, right? IP is port. Okay. And all services share the same IP address, but use different TCP, UDP, or TCP port. So this one should be HTTP, right? Okay. How about I want the file transfer TCP, FTP? You will be the same IP, but what number? 20 or 21? Okay. I write it 21. Okay. So it should be FTP. Okay. How about Modbus? Modbus use 502. Okay. So it's the common sense. You can remember or forget it. No worries, because you can search on the internet. Okay. And so let's reminder, because everyone usually use this port to develop HTTP or develop HTTPS. So please avoid to use this kind of port. Okay, you should reserve for other one. Okay, or the port will conflict. For example, I just fly from Thailand to here because I have a previous course there. Okay, and in Thailand, one customer actually installed another software on their laptop. Okay, and it's a SCADA system. Okay, and SCADA system use the AV board, already. So then he installed our management software called MXView1. Okay, tomorrow we will install it. And after he installed the MXView1, he can open it, MXView1. Why? Because MXView1 default maybe is 82. Okay, it's 80, the same port. So it will conflict. So that's why please reserve some ports for this common use port. Okay? Or it's a troubleshooting good way to help you to learn. Okay, if I can open this software, maybe the port is conflict. So you can change the port and the software problem will be solved. Okay, and let's talk about the TCP. TCP means the Transmission Control Protocol, and the UDP is User Data Protocol. And as I mentioned before, TCP is the guarantee delivers, right? It guarantees the message delivery. So TCP is really reliable, reliable. Why? Please see the mechanism here. We call it three-way handshake. How's it going? We have client and server. Client want to send the data to server. Before sending the data, the client will send sync to the server. Maybe I'm the client and Dui is the server, and I will send sync. Okay, I would like to connect to you. And I also mark it as sequence 10001. Okay? And when Dui receiving the sync, okay, yeah, I received your sync message, and Dui will reply me sync and acknowledge. Is acknowledge. Okay. Dui will tell me, okay, I know you want to sync with me. So server will reply the sync and egg to the card to me. And you also will add another sync sequence 2001, and the egg. This egg is about this one. It's belonging to this one. Sync 1001 and okay egg. I follow your sync 1002. And when I receive, I know, do you receive my sync message? Okay. And I also, okay, I receive your, I know you receive my sync. It's also send an egg to the server. And then the sync process finish, and then I can send the data to Dui. Okay? And each data will also has an egg. Hi, and Dui will say, okay, I received your hi. So TCP provides reliable communication and sequencing and retransmission. So when I send to Dui, but Dui no reply to me, I will retry. I will send it again. It's a retransmission. For a sliding window. Sliding window is just like we can send a lot of window, a lot of data. Maybe just like open the window. Okay. For now, I'm not quite busy. Okay. So I can open the whole window and you can send a lot of data to me. But if I'm busy, I will close half of window and you only can send health of data to be something like that. We call sliding window to control the data, how many data you can send. Another one is connection quality. Quality because we need to connect with each other and check again and again. But it's really guaranteed, it's good, right? But we also need extra bandwidth because we have to check and check and check. So there are a lot of egg message. So you will spend some bandwidth of your system. Okay? And another one is UDP. UDP is the fast one and the real time. And keep sending you, keep sending you, keep sending you. For example, who plays online games? Who plays online games? Shooting games? Heard about CS, right? CS streaming. Yeah. Who plays CS before?
Chỉ game bắn súng hay là chơi gì đó.
For example, shooting game, right? If you play the shooting game, you use UDP. Why? Because if you use TCP, you are a lot of here you okay. So the shooting game or streaming you watch the YouTube or something like that. Use the UDP because if you want to end again and again, you will have a lot of it. So that's why we say UDP. But UDP, well, it is a non-guaranteed delivery, so it might lose some packet. Okay, lose some packet. But because I keep sending, so maybe keep sending 1,000 and lost 2, never mind. Because I keep sending. So UDP is a fast and real-time one, and best effort, and is connectionless. We don't need to build this connection between the sender and the receiver. Okay, so that's TCP and UDP. Okay, any questions here? Okay, it's a lot of message for you, right? So I will keep asking you questions. Okay, feel free to reply me. Relax, be relaxed. Okay. Have fun tonight. Have fun today. Tonight, maybe we can go have a chill. I see a lot of party night, right? And at 9 o'clock yesterday, right? Yeah. A lot of sit in I drink a beer, right?
Right.
I just arrived Vietnam yesterday night, and take me to have a pho Vietnam. Oh, it's really good. And after the dinner, I go outside. Oh, a lot of people still there and drinking.
You like it?
Maybe after this course, we can. Okay, next will be the devices, standards, and protocols. And number one is the Ethernet. Ethernet is the most popular standard for the physical layer. Okay, it's the Ethernet. Also, Ethernet divides layer 1 and layer 2. Okay. Layer 1 and layer 2. And here is the standard name. IEEE, A02.3. This standard defines Ethernet. So when you see IEEE A02.3, it means Ethernet. Okay. If you want to win a project, right? So you have to see the tender. Okay. The requirement. Okay. And when it shows IEEE A02.3, it means the project needs Ethernet. Okay. Needs Ethernet. And there are some commonly used layer 1 Ethernet standards. Number one, fast Ethernet is 100 base TX. What does it mean? You use Ethernet and copper. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. And 100 means 100 megabit per second. Okay, 100 meg. Okay, 100 megabits is the speed, right? And the fiber is 100 base FX. Is fiber. So it's just like a nickname. When you see this, you will know, okay, how the spec of this standard. Okay. So and then you don't need to spend a lot of time to remember this because you can search it on the internet. And there's a table. You can say, oh, 100 base TX is 1 megabps, something like that. And next will be a Giga Ethernet. It will be 1000, right? 1000 means 1 giga base TX, base T, and it's copper. And the fiber one is 1000 base SX, LX, LH, EX, ZX. Because there are several types of fiber. Okay, if you are interested, you can search it on the internet. It will show you what is SX, LX. It's a different type of fiber. The final one will be the 10 giga Ethernet. 10 giga Ethernet means it's easy, right? 10G. 10G means 10 giga. Okay, there's some standards for your reference. So when you see a tender, you will see some kind of these words on the tender. Okay, copper cables. The signal is electricity. Voltage to signal. And we also have the copper conductor, and it's balanced signal over twist pairs to cancel EMI. You know EMI? Just like influence will make your communication unstable. Yeah, it's a noise. And what is twist pair? If you cut off this line, you can see the wire. Okay. It's the twist pair. And twist pair can help you to cancel the EMI. So to help you, your communication will be more stable. And also we have some categories of the copper cable. Cat means categories. And usually maybe we use the K5, normal one, and because it's not very expensive and or really cheap. Cat5e provide the speed 100 mega, right, and 1000 mega. Okay, and the Cat5 only support 100 mega. Okay, and the length means distance. How long transmitting is 100 meters. And if you want to use the 10 giga or more bandwidth, you can use the Cat6 cables. But if you use Cat6, if you use 10 giga, only the distance will be 50-50. Okay? And the Cat6A and the Cat7, Cat8, Cat9, you can search it on the internet. Different different bandwidth, length, and common usage. And today, I think our cable are all Cat5, K5E, K5E. Okay. So be careful if you buy a powerful switch. Its port is 10 giga, okay, and you want to transmit 10 giga data, but you use the Cat5 cable, so it only can transmit 100 meters. So be careful. So the data transmit, you should care about your cable, which one you are using. Next one will be the fiber, optical fiber. Fiber use the light signal, okay? And the media is the optical fiber, and the light wave propagate through optical fibers and encode information, just like this picture shown. Transmitter, okay, transmitter is a light source and use the light to transmit the data to the receiver. And receiver also have a photo detector, can receive the light. Okay, and the line we use fiber cable. And the transmitter and receiver will help us to convert 0101 this kind of bit data to another one. Okay. And what's the advantage of the fiber? The benefit of the fiber. Number one is its speed, right? Speed is higher. And number two, far, distance, right? It can have a long distance, right? So number one is speed is fast. Number two is the distance, right? Long distance. How about number three? Oh, yes, you got it. It's the noise one. Because we use the light as the source, not like the Ethernet cable. Ethernet cable use the voltage. Okay. So the voltage might influence by some noise. Okay. Some noise. If you are in a power application site, okay, it might have some motors or some big relay, power relay. Okay, it will make some influence. So three advantage. Number one is speed. Number two is long distance. Number three is you can against the noise. Okay, next. Actually, fiber has two types. Number one is multi-mode, and the next will be a single mode. And the multi-mode is light wave propagate with reflection and deflection. And its light source is LED or laser. Laser is expensive one. Okay. And its reflection type step index and gradient index. Step index is just like this. And gradient index just like a wave, but it's not really important. Okay, just let you know. And it's limited by model depression. It means when you have a long distance, okay, but in the end you might have some depression because the light has 7 colors, right? The white light has same color, right? And the depression will happen in the end of the fiber, and the different model, different modes arrive at different times. It means seven colors will arrive at different times. So it will make the signal loss. So the distance is limited. And multi-mode is shorter transmission distance, shorter one. And the longer one is the single mode. So multi-mode, and its cable usually not the most, not always. Okay. Usually use the orange one. And its core is bigger than single mode. It's bigger. The core. Next, just spec for your reference. There are several types of the fiber, and the core size is different, and its bandwidth is different. Okay. So, and if you want to use the SFP or fiber, please check on the spec, maybe on the manufacturer website or Mozart website. This screenshot is from Mozart website. So they will guide you if you want to transmit how long distance, you should use which one. Okay. And your fiber cable type should choose the specific type. And how about the TX range? It is TX power, transmit power. And the receive range is receive sensitivity. Just like how loud I speak, and my ear is good or not. Something like that. Okay, so please check the spec first. Select the fiber and the transceiver. Okay. The next will be the single mode fiber. The single mode fiber propagate along one path. And its light source is laser. It's laser. No LED. It's laser. And it's limited by this kind of dispersion. I think it's not important because just let you know it might have dispersion. Okay, so its distance is limited. But its distance is longer transmission distance, longer than multi-mode, maybe 20 kilometer, 30 kilometer, 10 kilometer. And the multi-mode maybe is 500 meters, or 1 kilometer, but single mode is longer. And the cable color usually use yellow, and you can see the core is smaller, right? It's smaller because it's only one path, only one. Okay. And then we will go back to the Ethernet. Okay, Ethernet, and this is the connectors for twisted cable. We have you can look up you have the cable, right? You can look at the cable, and the cable has 8 position, 8 contact, 8 position, 8 contact, and often called RJ45. But be careful, RJ45 is just this connector. So maybe RJ45 is not Ethernet. Okay? Maybe it's not Ethernet, so you have to check. Because RJ45 means the connector, not the whole cable. Okay? And RJ45 is registered J45. Okay. And two paired components is the male plug or female check. Okay. Male plug and the female check. Okay. And it will three pin used to attach the connectors to the cable. It will if you buy a RJ45 here and you count the line A line or maybe A line, maybe A line and then insert into this from the bottom into this and make the line to touch the pin and then you use a tool clamp it and you will show like this. Okay. Input the line to this pin position and clamp it. It's the Ethernet cable. And this slide show you the HP8C, 8 position, 8 contact pin out. And it's actually it's a standard called ANSI and the TIA 568. It's a standard. And there are two types of cables. One is straight. Number two is crossover cable. Okay. It's used the different scenario. But this scenario is in the past. Because now we have some mechanism to solve this not useful way. In the past, we have PC and switch. If we want to connect them, we have to use straight. And if you want to use the PC to PC, you have to use the cross one. And what is mean A? A because TIA 568 is the A type and B type. So in the past, PC want to connect switch, both sides use A or both sides use B. Okay? And if you want to connect PC and PC, you have to use the cross. Okay, so it's not friendly, right? Because you have to check which cable you are using. It's not friendly. And if you use the fast Ethernet, what is fast Ethernet? What is fast Ethernet? It means 100 mega, right? 100 mega. So for a 100 mega speed, you can use only 2 pairs. What does it mean? 2 pairs. 1, 2. These two